Hello, welcome. Delighted that you're here. Each week you'll meet a lady who will be sharing her story with you, and the intention is that you will be entertained, motivated, and inspired to share yours. It's time for women to rise and stand in heart-centered leadership. Join with us and stay tuned. We don't disappoint. Cheers. Hello, and good evening. Good morning, good afternoon, good day, wherever you are. Sending your way always the very, very best. It's Wednesday night, so it's Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. The legacy is now, and tonight, every Wednesday night, I bring to you ladies who are just full of tips and tools and nuggets and information for you. And tonight, our guest is going to be talking all about how to build instant influence and gain Insta-Clients with speaking every time. And we're going to be talking about a lot more. I am Joy Ruffin, your host tonight, your style and leadership coach. And it's all about how you show up. And if you are in leadership, it's major. But we'll talk about that at another time, because tonight it's all about our guest, Katarina Rando. And I'm going to bring her up and say, welcome. Where are you? She's coming up. Hello and welcome.
Hello. I'm blessing to be with you, Joy.
Well, I love that word, blessing. I'm blessed to be with you always. And I know how super busy you are. So I'm thrilled that you're here to share this time and space with us, because we want to hear, we love these words, Insta, extraordinary, and thriving. And this is what you're all about. So tell us a little bit about your business and what you do for those who might not know you, but want to get to know you.
Yeah. Okay. Well, what I do is I support women on a mission.
Yes.
Support you to be yourself, do your thing, serve your people, and massively monetize your mastery, because it doesn't do any good to be awesome and amazing and fabulous and not be able to thrive financially. That's what I want for you. That's what I want for all the women on the planet.
I like that. And that's one of the reasons that I'm aligned, because one of the things that you say, and I love it when you say it, well, you have a lot of things that I'm in love with, but one is that go out and be loud and proud and get your message out there in the stratosphere, however you do it. Whether you're a novice starting off or you're a pro, be loud and proud about what you do. Yes. And learn to know that speaking is one of the best ways to get the best engagement. And that's what we're going to talk about a little bit. Great. And Katarina, I love your setting, but you need to move over a little bit so you're more centered. The other way, this way, to the flop. There you go. You're more centered now. Okay. No, now you're too far over. right
the
there.
Thing is, I don't like to be right behind. I don't like to have my frame behind me, but that's okay.
That's okay. Well, it's your message. It's your message. So now let's hear a little bit more about when you say instant clients with speaking every time.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Well, what I mean by that is that, people meet you and they like you.
Yes.
But they don't know that you have massive value to bring. And that's why we want to speak or invite people to a workshop to come and be with us, so that we can showcase our massive value to the people. And what happens when we do that is we build Insta-Influence, because when we network or we meet someone at a social event, yes, they like us, but they don't know we have massive value, which is why we want to have something to invite them to, where we get to share whatever it is that we're focused on. And if I may, let me give everybody the influence equation. The influence equation is visibility plus value plus consistency equals influence. Visibility plus value plus consistency equals influence. And visibility is showing up. And of course, not just showing up, but making yourself known, making sure everyone knows you're there in an appropriate and gracious way. And then, of course, providing value. But the thing is, we can't do this once every blue moon. We want to do this on a consistent basis.
One of the things that you said, Katarina, here, you said how to be a confident and compelling speaker every time. And maybe what you just spoke to, and maybe can go out of that, is what you're telling us, that the visibility And the value and the consistency is what will get you ultimately the people, the circle that you want to dance with.
Yes, let me say though, I do have a wonderful super tip, Joy,
Yes.
to help everyone be a consistently compelling presenter. And here it is. We want everybody to wear, I want you, everybody listening, to wear your cape. Now, cape, like your super shiro Wonder Woman cape. And what that stands for is certainty that you have massive value to bring. Authenticity, be yourself. Don't try to be anybody that you're not or how you think you're supposed to be. Be yourself. Authenticity is alluring. The P stands for positivity. You want to be an uplifting speaker. You don't want to depress your audience, right? You want to have them leave more uplifted than when they got there. Positivity. And the E is for enthusiasm. And the enthusiasm is extra energy that you bring to presenting because you want to fill the whole room with your energy. And that energy is contagious. It will keep people engaged. And that is necessary in a speech setting. Yes, if you're chatting with your girlfriend, it can be more relaxed. When you're presenting, you want to bring extra energy. Wear your cape every time you're speaking. And as a result, you will be compelling. Now, let's also say, not just speaking, speeches are speaking. Joy, you know, when we're doing Clubhouse, which you're such a queen of Clubhouse, when we are speaking in a conversation, it's all speaking.
It's all speaking. And I completely agree with you. And I get that completely. And what we can't add into this, but yet it's part of this, is your message. The message that you want to deliver out to the people that you want to engage with so that they can join with you in your circle. So while you're wearing that cape, that certainty, that authenticity, the positive enthusiasm, your message has to contain all of that as well. So how do you get people to understand and to know that everywhere that they go, that cape has to be a part of whatever they're doing and however they're doing it?
Well, that's the thing to recognize, is to recognize that all speaking is public speaking, even when you're talking to yourself, because you're listening. And to keep your cape on. Certainty, authenticity, positivity, enthusiasm. And one of the ways also, Joy, that people get to know us is when we share about ourselves. And that gives them ways to understand us more or connect with us more. For example, I speak Italian. I used to live in Italy. My parents are 89 years old. I'm taking care of them these days. I love Clubhouse. I love to speak Italian. These are, whatever it is, let people know a little bit about you, because that allows them to feel like they know you more. And not just information. Go ahead.
And that's very important, because people do want to feel that they know you and that they're resonating with you, because whatever it is that you're delivering, it's something in that is a part of them as well. And they can resonate and understand and hear what you're saying. I love the cape, because the cape, and I also like what you said, Katarina, about every time you speak, that cape has to be on. Yes. Even if you're going out to meet someone for the first time.
Yes.
And that's what I think confuses people with public professional speaking. They think that it's just then and there for that particular engagement. It's all the time. It's everywhere. Right. And I love that. Now, you talk about how to build instant clients with speaking every time. So obviously that's one of the tips, to wear the cape.
Yes.
And what other tips are you going to share with us about?
Well, my friend, you know me, Joy, I have a lifetime supply. Here's the thing. Also, we want to make sure that we are speaking about what matches what we offer. For example, when I was much younger, I used to teach a class on proactive dating skills. I love to teach this class. But you know what? I'm not a dating coach, never been a dating coach, didn't run any singles events. So I had fun, but after a while, it wasn't so much fun because I wasn't getting return on my time investment. Okay. So you only want to talk. So these days, what do I talk about? How to thrive at sales. Why? Because I have a sales class. How to use speaking to grow your business. Because I have a speaker mastermind. How to do your own retreats. Because I have a wonderful retreat for women. You talk about what matches what you offer so that, first of all, people get that value, but also you don't confuse the marketplace.
Ah, that's a very good word there, because I think what all of us learn over time is that, and what you just gave us example of when you were teaching about the dating,
Yes.
people can get confused very quickly. So
Right.
you have to be very precise about your message and how you deliver it. And the other key that you mentioned there, Katarina, is that listening skill, to be able to really listen and tune in and to ensure that you are with the audience that is going to be connected and related to you. And so how do you go about doing that?
Well, my friend, this is a master class right here, because I'm going to tell you something.
Yes.
Many times speakers are at a meeting and they're going to be speaking in a little bit, but while the rest of the meeting's going on, they're looking at their speech. No, you don't do that. From the moment I show up to do a presentation, if I'm at a meeting and everybody's introducing themselves and they're saying what's going on and somebody's raving about somebody else, I am so much paying attention, because then when it's time for my speech, I'm going to talk about the people that are in my audience. I'm going to say, like we were discussing with Joan with her new office, and Mary, this is for you because you work at the credit union and this is great for your people. I use the people in the room as examples in my talk, and now everyone's leaning in and they're all much more attentive because they didn't get a canned speech. They got a speech specifically for them in the room. Now, you can only do this if you're 100% paying attention and you're not having your attention on yourself before you present.
Katarina,
Yes.
that is beyond potent, powerful, deep, and so impactful. Because I know for a fact, initially when I started out, and sometimes I forget, what you just said is so powerful. Because if you're tuned in, if you're listening, if you're connecting and relating and sharing in the room before you speak, you will have more in your signature talk is there. And if you're really good, you can segue it to whatever it needs to be, right?
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's a good nugget. That's a really good nugget. And sometimes we're so deep in the forest, we don't see the trees. And I think sometimes until we really get our legs, we forget these little things. What other little nuggets can you give us about speaking?
Well,
Because,
here's, yeah, I, like I said, I have a lifetime supply, Joy. Mwah. One thing is to pay attention and notice if you have a signature speech filler. Now, here's the truth. We all do have a signature speech filler when we start, and the goal is to eliminate it. Might be so, might be and, might be Listen to your presenting, do a video of a presentation and listen, because you may not know what that signature speech filler is, and it's diminishing the power of your message. Very important. The other thing is that a lot of people, when they're just getting started, they talk too fast. And it's important to slow your pace down so that all your information lands and the audience can stay with you. Now, the other thing is put some stories in there, put some client examples, because that makes it more relatable as well.
again, sometimes we're so deep in the forest, we don't see the trees. And that's why all of us need other mentors, coaches, consultants, because what you just said is so true. I am a lifelong lover of Toastmasters. And that's where I learned to leave out the ums, the ands, the and the like, and on and on and on. And when you began to play back your speeches, Katarina, and you listen to them, if you really want to get to be a pro, you make note of that, right? This is what you say. Yes.
Yes, and how you can do better. Now, the other thing, Joy, is if you want to be a speaker, guess what? Don't get ready to begin to think about getting going. Book a speech, book another speech, book another speech. We have to be consistent. I say to my clients when they say, okay, I want to do one speech a month, I say no, because one is too close to absolutely nothing. I want everybody speaking at least twice a month. And by the way, during the pandemic, why are we not speaking 10 times a month? Because we don't have to go anywhere. The more you speak, the better you will get.
Yes.
Even if you never take a class or anything,
Right.
the more you speak, the better you get, because you'll get more at ease with yourself in that situation.
Well, one of the things that you mentioned here and that we wanted to talk about, and you've already given us some nuggets, but more would be how can we get more tips on how to get booked more? Well, you've already said to us,
Okay.
1, 2 is not enough, and especially now that we can do it virtual. What other tips can you give us? I know you have a lifelong supply. I love that.
Yes. Well, Joy, let's give a few. And let me say, I have my Get Booked for Speaking Challenge Masterclass coming up in June. If anyone wants to learn more, let's give 3 super tips that you can get started on immediately. First thing is, does it say speaker on your Facebook profile, your LinkedIn profile, your Instagram profile, your Clubhouse profile? If not, run, don't walk to add speaker on your profile. The second thing is, do you have a place on your website about speaking, about your upcoming workshops? If not, you want a page for that. Now, on that page would be the 3 topics, at the most 3, that you talk about. It's okay to have 1 or 2, but don't have more than 3, because we want rinse and repeat, Joy.
Right. And you get confused too if it's too much.
Yes.
Yeah, I think that everyone needs to hear this from time to time, even you. You know what I've learned recently, Katerina, and it really warms my heart, is that even the best of the best have coaches. Because
Absolutely.
we're always learning. It's a perennial, ongoing, one and the same journey. So if you really want to get to be the best of the best, you make sure you align yourself with the people who are going to support you in getting there. So I love all these tips that you're sharing with us. Before we go to break for a quick second, I know that you do so much and you're really all about business and sales and speaking. And in your mind and in mine, they're aligned, they connect.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about the center that you have and what you're doing there in San Francisco. Even though it's on hiatus right here and now, I'm an optimist. Things are going to open up here soon.
Oh, yeah.
And when they do, what are we going to be doing there? And I say we because at some point in time, I'd like to join you there.
Yeah, well, good. I hope you're coming in January for my speaker mastermind. We'll talk about that later. We have a center in San Francisco, and the reason, Joy, it's been my goal for years to have my center. Took me about 6 years from the day that I decided I wanted it, was because I was giving a lot of money to all the hotels to host my trainings, and they weren't treating me super VIP. And I thought, you know what? If you're going to take my money and not treat me super VIP, I'm going to go elsewhere. And now I have my own center, which is beautiful. We have chandeliers on the ceiling. We have red carpets. You're going to love it, Joy. I know you're going to love it. And we have 40 chairs, and we host trainings and workshops and gatherings and events there for women. And we, women, we love to get together. That's why I started it. And the truth is, it uplifted my life because I didn't have to go to Timbuktu as much, and I don't have to bring all my stuff with me. And it's really wonderful to have your own place. And we will be opening in August. Joy.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. I really celebrate and praise you for that, because I can just imagine how that must have been the implementing of it and getting it up and going. And then the pandemic hits and you survived through it. And now you're ready to open up again in August. So I say bravo to you, because that type of a platform, what you've done there, I'm sure as we open up again and move forward, a lot of people are going to start to do that, get their own, so that they can do what they need to do.
Yeah, well, we have other ladies in our community that have centers too. Shea Chisanga has one in Sacramento. Tracy has one in Santa Cruz. And there's other ladies all over the country that have live and in-person centers, because, of course, ladies, we always want to be in a place with other ladies. I will say, Joy, that I learned a huge lesson related to this in the pandemic. Do we have time to share, or should we save?
Absolutely. I have a few minutes before I go to break. A quick break. Yes, share.
Well, here's the thing. I always thought to myself, you know what? I really want to have ladies that can come and meet me at the center for dinner. And so I've had my attention on the 3 area codes north and the 3 area codes south and the 1 area code east, because I'm on the West Coast. And that was beautiful. But then when the pandemic hit, we took everything to Zoom. And now I have ladies joining my community and coming to my workshops from all over the country. And yes, Joy, it would be great to have you at my house for dinner on Friday night. But you know what? We get to have a wonderful relationship, and we get to know each other and support each other, even though you're way over there and I'm way over here. I want everyone to look at how they can embrace Zoom and other virtual platforms to grow your business, because that expands your reach. You can connect with more people, you can serve more people, and all of these relationships support you to not only get clients, but bliss in your business and uplift more lives.
You know, you have so many little taglines and sayings that are really impactful for me. And one of them is, I'm blissing for you, and send that little heart out there. It's a good thing. I'm going to take a quick little break, give you time to, as you would say, relax and breathe. Take it easy. Stay in the green room. Don't go anywhere. And I'll be right back with you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hold tight. I love this. Listen, is she a firecracker? Yes, she is. And she knows her business, and she's all heart and soul connected and always interested in seeing your success. That's what she's interested in. When I meet women, ladies who are all about that, I instantly connect with them, and I hope that you will. One of your assignments here is to connect with the women who come here. Maybe they can't serve you right here and now, but you never know down the road. Here's what I want to ask you to do. If you're not a member already, and if this is for you, the replay, do go and join my group, Leading Ladies, Leaving Legacies. And the legacy is now. We're living it. Let's hop in and do all the things that we're here to do to serve others. And in conjunction with that, every third Thursday of the month, I'm having now a meeting where all of the leading ladies can come and we can have an open discussion. There will be different topics that we can talk about that will benefit you as you move onward on your journey, because the journey we're all on forever, it never really ends. It progresses upwards, but never ends. And that said, this platform that we're all crazy about, the Clubhouse, we have 2 rooms there. Meet me there on Wednesday nights at 9. If you're on the Facebook Leading Ladies group, you'll be getting a notification about that. And also the Profitable Podcasting TV host podcaster, which we do here, you'll be a member there as well, and you'll be able to join in and see what we're all about. We are all about being of service and supporting you. And one of the things that I'm interested in is how you show up as a leader, your style and your signature. That's what's important. And it's not anyone's style but yours. You want to make sure that whatever it is, it aligns with you, your personality, your lifestyle, and your body shape, and all those other things that come into the picture. So join us on Thursday, which is tomorrow, the first meeting, and then we'll take it from there. I'm going to go back to Katerina now. We're going to talk more about speaking, sales, and business, which never, ever grows old, Katerina, because no matter what you're doing, what product, what service you're offering, it has those 3 components. So tell us, I know a little bit, but people like stories. I heard you say that. How did you come to decide that those were the 3 components that you wanted to bring together: sales, business, and speaking?
Well, Joy, my first business was I owned a cafe and catering company.
Yes.
And I loved having my cafe. I loved knowing everyone in the neighborhood. I make the best cappuccino you ever met in your life. I loved it. The thing is, though, when you have a cafe, what do? If you want some new clients or customers? All you do is you turn on the lights and you open the doors and you treat people good when they come in and you feed them good food so they come back. That was the way to do it in that business.
Yes.
When I started coaching, business coaching, I was like, okay, well, that strategy doesn't work now. How do we do it? And what I did was I did what many of us do. I started to network.
Yes.
And what would happen when I networked? I noticed that the speaker always seemed to get a lot of attention. And especially when I was very young, because I've been in this business over 25 years, there would always be other ladies in the room that had more experience than me, that they seemed more confident. So I said, okay, well, I'm going to be the speaker That way I definitely have permission to talk and I will get some business. And that's what happened. And even in those early years when I really didn't know as much about selling, because I had built influence, I would get clients. And then I realized, okay, well, now I'm good at speaking, but you still have to be good at the follow-up. You have to be good at the whole sales process. And that's when I also realized that a lot of ladies are very good at serving their clients,
Yes.
but they're not so good at selling their services. And if you can't sell, you can't serve. Now, when women start their businesses, they start their business because they want to be of service, but they have to learn how to sell so that they can be of service.
Well, let me back you up here a wee bit because you're giving us a lot of golden, platinum nuggets. And I think sometimes we all might know this is embedded, but it needs to be awakened. That's my key word here of late. And you mentioned it in the way that you mentioned it. A lot of people are about selling, but they don't know how to service and they don't know how to present their business to the audience that they want to serve. You mentioned earlier that when you started your business by speaking, you didn't know how to sell. So how did you get that knowing for yourself?
Okay. Well, the thing is, Joy, I wasn't as great at selling, but because I had spoken and I had built influence,
Yes.
the person was open to working with me. And so then we would have a conversation. Now, one of the strategies that I'm a big fan of is inviting people to come to your Zoom workshop. So when I go speak, my goal is not to massively monetize that room. My goal is to invite anyone that's interested from that speech to come and spend more time with me, where I get to build more influence. And then we schedule a conversation, and if they're interested, and if I feel that they're a good match for me, and I know that I could serve them, then I invite them to be a client. Now, I want to pause here, Joy, because I want to be very clear. There is a lifetime supply of people to serve. However, not everybody is your ideal client.
Oh.
And I want everyone who's listening to pay attention to two things. Yes, we think about demographics, age, income, education, but there's also psychographics. That means what type of person do you want to work with? I want to work with someone who's positive, someone who's coachable, someone who values personal growth and development. Those are and of course they have to have integrity. And if I'm not blissing when I'm talking to them, then I want to pay attention to that too. Because, go ahead,
yes,
Joy.
I think that's beyond major. And for this reason, because I think I'll speak for me. Starting out, you want to embrace everybody. And at a certain point, you realize that you're not going to. So you want to find out how to connect with the ones that are going to be in need of your service, wanting your service. And that word that you use, which is very prevalent now, you want to be an influencer. You want to make sure that they're connecting with you. And then you divide it by saying you want to make sure that they have these traits, these characteristics. Integrity for me is at the top of my list. Are they accountable first to themselves and then to others? But as you well know, Katarina, it takes a while to develop and get to that. And then you get on the road to where you want to go with your success. I think this is very powerful, this information you're sharing with us. How long did it take you before you began to feel and to see?
Well, here's what I will say, because the goal is not to learn sales or learn speaking. The goal is not even to get good at it. The goal is to get masterful. The thing is that how we get masterful is with many hours in. And Malcolm Gladwell, in his book Outliers, he would tell us that we need 10,000 hours. Now, honestly, Joy, I think that's a very depresso number, 10,000, okay, to get to mastery. But here's what I want everyone to note is that every hour is 1 hour closer to mastery. And you will find that the more you speak, the more you sell, the better you get at it. And let's be also clear that we're looking to sell with ease and authenticity. We're not using scripts. Scripts are for telemarketers, okay? And whatever feels good. we're not, and I don't even like Joy to push, focus on pain points. I don't want to talk about people's big pain. I want to talk about maybe their struggle, but really I want to talk about possibilities. Okay.
You mentioned some words there, Katerina, that I want us to end with because this is really very powerful. This is what I've learned over time. And I like what you said, and I've been told this before, that getting ready to get ready to get ready, get out and do it. Yes. We have to learn to minister, manage, and master ourselves first. You use the word masterful. And also, it is a skill set that we can all learn if we really want to. That's what you're saying. Different verbiage, but the same thing.
Right.
Listen, the time flies here. It's gone. It's over. So what is the takeaway? What is the impact? What is the pearls of wisdom you want to leave us with? Whatever it is, the stage is yours. I see that look on your face.
Yeah. Well, because I have so many things to share. What I want everyone to know is that you have massive value to bring.
Yes.
The thing, though, is that you have to bring it. And I want you to keep bringing it and keep bringing it. Bring it through speaking. Bring it through Clubhouse. Bring it through videos, podcasting, being like Joy and having your own TV show or being a guest on other people's shows. Bring your massive value consistently. Because when you do that, that moves you towards mastery. And then you get to impact more lives. And that's really the big joy of all this. Of course, we want to massively monetize. We also want to pay attention and have massive impact. And that is when you are truly blissing in business.
Katerina, thank you. I am blissing. I am blissing from my toes up because I love the work that you're doing. You've taught me a lot, and I continue to learn and to get out and do it because that's what you're saying. Do it, yes. Do it, do it. Practice, practice, practice. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
Don't practice, do it.
Do it, do it. That's a good ending. Thank you so much. I'm blissing. I'll put you in the green room. If you have to go, I'll be with you in just a second. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It was delicious. Listen, I like her style and her energy because she's all about do it. And for me, it's been a lesson, but I'm getting it. Just do it, do it. Forget about the practice. Make boo-boos, get egg on your face, wallow in the mud a little bit. It's okay. People want to hear your stories. They want to know more about you. They want you to be an influencer so that you can be impactful in their lives. And the other thing that she said, well, she gave us so many nuggets. Be aligned with the people who want and need your service and are positive and energetic and excited about life. We don't need the others, and neither do they need, well, they might need us, but that's another saga. It's always good to be with you. It always brings me pleasure when I bring you women here who share their stories with you, because that's what it's all about. We learn from each other. We no longer compete. We complete one another. That's my tagline for now. And what I want you to do is, whether it's now or at another date and time, connect with Katerina because she is blissful in so many ways. And I bid you, for now, so long, be safe, be well, stay safe, wear the mask, and I look forward to seeing you again, like real soon. Until then, I'm sending you away all the best, always. So long for now. Cheers. Well, okay, leading ladies, leaving legacies, not ever goodbye. Why? Because it's our time. Join us as we move onward and upward in style. Connect with me on my website. I can't wait to meet you. Make it soon. Cheers.